You're watching I Am Weekly. Yep.
Today on our show, we have Andy Decker, aka Mater, filling in as a facilitator with a fresh cut. And then we have the Door and the Jack. Take it away, guys.
Okay, welcome to I Am Weekly. Today, we're going to discuss several topics like usual. To my left, for once, is Reed Jackson. To my right, like always, to the right is Mr. Ollie Teddy Wilburn. Last week's game of the weeks. What'd you have? How'd it go?
Well, where do we start? I guess for men's, sorry about that. I'll talk louder. For men's, we had New Era versus Too Legit. We're expecting some good things, and well, would you agree with me? We saw some good things.
It's a good game. It was a good game.
I looked for a little bit more plays to be made that weren't, but at the same time, maybe it was just the competitive nature, but it was on the edge. It was intense. 7-7 at halftime after Blaze got in for a questionable score, thanks to our official Arturo Flores. But for the most part, I was pleased. We predicted New Era would win, and they did. They just had a little bit too much. They were a little bit more familiar with the game and were able to march it series, and they had the bigger plays. A couple of 4th downs and longs they were able to convert, and they came away with the game.
Well, I was there second half, and I didn't see an impact player on either side of the ball. But we'll get into that
Regardless, the player of the game and the week for men's was Blaze Dillenberg. Would y'all agree?
Agreed.
He was pretty much the only one making plays, you could say. So that puts to rest the argument I had with Mr. Jones last week, proving that I was right. But you can go on to the next one.
The next game of the week, or
yeah.
Well, I wasn't here again.
Well, he's useless.
Last
take away Not a Chance.
Oh, Not a Chance, and who was it?
Packing Bags.
Packing Bags. Sorry. I personally didn't even see the game, so.
I saw the game. I predicted 19-18, and the score was 26-6.
Yeah, Packing Bags look good.
They did. What I like about Packing Bags is they have a really good rush, and Vixen saw that rush when they played them in week 1, and were only able to put up 23. So I thought that was a little low, but 26 points was good. They're a rugby team, and they run a rugby style offense, and they were able to pitch and run, and that's what they do.
The only thing I noticed about Packing Bags when they were on offense is they didn't seem to spread the ball around a lot. It seemed like 2 or 3 people were the main ones touching and holding the ball. If they get more people involved, I think it'll even make their offense more dynamic.
And I agree. Player of the week for women's, because they were the player of the game in that one. My opinion, Noelle Johnson. 2 huge receptions, running all over the D, causing terror. And in my opinion, the only one who is a threat at receiver for them. So that's who I give it to, and we can go on to co-ed.
Sure can we? Co-ed's game of the week was a 4-on-4 matchup this week. It was between I Am Legends and 10 Deep. I think that the score would be 64-37.
Yeah, y'all were able to pull it respectfully.
I want to go and say it wasn't as close as the score indicated.
No, they got majored.
We got majored.
Wow.
Which was
interesting.
But for the first time in my career here at ASU, when I played Mater, he hasn't scored. So I think that was a little personal victory. Didn't know the game wasn't even close, but I'll take the little things out of it.
I mean, you can say it wasn't close, but bottom line was, whenever 2 teams like that get together, it's competition and it's 2 good teams. I just felt like the offense for I Am Legends took over, and like we said, I thought Jeremy Whitaker would revamp it, and he did more than revamp.
Offense looked really good. I believe that we didn't even stop the first thing once, maybe once, and started the second half.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
Other than that, you scored at will.
The only time y'all stopped the first string was when Brianne Wilburn intercepted a Jeremy Whitaker pass, which, if I'm her, I brag about that till the day I die. But other than that, yeah. We haven't really talked about a player of the game for that. There's a couple. Has to go someone on offense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go with, I guess, Jeremy himself or Jody.
Jeremy. Okay. Well, I guess Jeremy was tired.
Say Jeremy again.
Jeremy. I think Jeremy.
It's not. His name's not Jeremy.
Okay, how do you say it?
It's Jeremy.
Jeremy was obviously tired from the 2 7-on-7 or 8-on-8 games before that, because I saw him underthrow some passes at the end of the game.
To you
I
specifically.
saw,
Looked a little
some of
weak.
y'all's receivers look like they couldn't really adjust that well to the ball, though.
No.
And by that he means you.
Well, the lights got my eyes
I'm
on
specifically
one.
talking about him.
I'm not in the greatest of shape anymore. So I would rather give it to Jody than to Jeremy.
Thank you. You agree, Dor?
Yeah, I'll take Jet. She toasted one of our guys for 9. So.
Early in the game,
That was
and
a
that's
big-
when
it was a big play.
that's when I Am Legend set
Took
the
over
tone
that,
when
yeah.
they started up. Was it like 22-0, something
Yeah.
like that? So congratulations, Jody Nichols, aka our camera girl. So go with it.
Okay, well,
He's
that'll wrap up
facilitating.
this segment. We'll be back in a minute.
I am weekly.
So, as you can see, our esteemed co-host Andy Decker is back. So, this the episode, or sorry, the segment of Stump Tomato is back. So I guess we'll just jump right in. Last week we had a good debate between Jarrell and Reed over an impact player on New Era, Art, and Blaze, and that led us to another good question: O versus D. Which is more important in flag football? So, guys,
Ladies first.
Okay, well, I want to say something first. We got Korek up there, and you got Barstool Heroes, and who was the game of the week? And the other one, Tri Beta. How did they get on this show? Because they put up big scores.
How did they get on the show?
They got on because of their big scores, which is due to offense.
Are you sure about that? Because
Yeah,
I watched
I'm
both the
positive.
games, and most of the points that they came were interceptions that were handed off to a girl, which comes from what? The defense.
From someone not there, I'm
Oh,
assuming that
so-
the offense scored. So,
Well, I was there at the games, and the defense had most of their
so you're
points.
telling me no offense scored in either game?
No, actually, most of the points were from their defense.
Okay, most of them.
Like for Tri Beta, for example, Choke, who was their impact player that no one talked about, is probably the reason why Tri Beta is going to win that game. So anybody who picked Barstool Heroes is retarded because they don't have anybody on their team.
strong words.
They don't have anybody on their team.
Okay, well, I
And
was
he plays
also,
on defense, and he scored most of
hey,
the points on
also
defense.
going
So,
back
but-
to the players of the week.
Mhm.
Jody, offense. Blaze, offense. So
Did he not make any impact
Noel,
on defense?
offense. Well, no, we were putting them on there. We talked about their offense, not about their defense.
Why didn't y'all talk about their defense?
Well, obviously, offense
because none
is
of y'all
more
were there,
important than
but you weren't at the
defense.
games though. How is offense more important than defense? Let me explain something to you. Which one has a better chance of actually stopping a team from scoring and scoring at the same time?
Well,
No, which one? Defense. right?
offense.
Defense can stop
Offense
a team,
did.
or offense can stop a team.
Yes, because last night I was there watching the game when I was reffing, and we went there. The team went on a 9-minute drive in co-rec.
So they
That
can-
pretty much stops the other offense
So,
from
so
scoring. if they're not
whenever
on
their
the
defense
field.
came back on, whenever their defense came back on the field and got the ball back for their
They
offense, that
didn't
didn't
give
help
up
at
any
all.
points.
They-
But,
the
I mean,
defense-
they
wait,
took
the
a
defense
9-minute
didn't give up any
You
points.
take a 9-minute drive, how's the other team going to score?
So you're telling me the defense didn't give up? They didn't give up any points, right?
Yeah,
Zero.
because the other
So,
team
so
scored
they
to
did
start
their job
down
to
there.
shut them down and got the ball back to their offense to score, right?
That's
I got
possible.
another thing. Whenever you're at games and you hear people go, what do they say? They don't say offense. They go
I haven't heard that
defense.
shit.
Why? Because it's the strongest part.
I have never
Oh,
heard
a
that
team.
chant at a flag football game.
You've never heard that ever. I'm not even talking about flag football. We can go to a basketball game. We can
Well,
go to a real
this
football
is a
game.
flag football
So
discussion.
you've never heard anybody say defense?
Not at a flag football game. And also,
Where-
I'd like to say this.
What flag football games do you go to?
The ones I ref, the ones I watch, and the ones I...
And you've never heard anybody yell defense at all?
Yeah, usually me.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you, another thing. At the end of a game, when you got the ball and you're driving to score, you got to have faith in your offense. That makes them so much more important because if you're in a close game, who cares if the defense makes a stop when the offense has to go down and score still?
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that the defense stopping the other team from scoring more points is not important to the offense driving down the ball?
Sometimes you can't stop
To
the other
score.
team, so you got to be able to score
Okay.
at the end.
No. You can.
Yeah.
You can stop the offense with the good defense. Now, if you're ahead and you want to keep the other team from scoring, well, you rely on. You don't rely on your offense.
Well,
You rely on the defense.
to be honest, for a defense, all you need is a good pass rush. Anyone can sit back and play coverage. You got to have a good pass rush. On offense, you got to have people that can throw the ball, snap the ball, catch the ball, and run the ball.
You have to.
There's more elements to the
So
game.
you're telling me the only important part on defense is the pass rush.
Yeah, because anyone can run a team, corral them, and run them out of bounds. And it's not that hard to play coverage. I do it.
Okay, the camera girl is going to ask a question. What is the sole purpose of a defense?
The sole purpose of a defense is to keep an offense from putting the ball in the end zone or moving the ball down the field.
And what is the sole purpose of an offense?
To enforce its will upon the defense.
Okay, so
That's a score.
you can't have one without the other, right? What's more important in a game?
Offense.
Defense.
Disagree.
Defense.
Disagree.
I'd say it's tough. It really is. It really is a tough question. It comes down to just what viewpoint you're looking at it from. I think. Personally, I look at flag football. It's probably a little easier to score. So does that make offense more important? But on the other hand, if you have a defense that is good, your team is going to be better. You're going to be able to take the next step to a upper level team, a better team. So, do you have any more points I'd like to bring up, or?
No.
I thought it was a good discussion. If you have any thoughts or any comments about this, go ahead and comment on the page under the link, or just on the page in general. We'll continue the discussion on there. But for now, we're going to take a break and be right back.